I got to thinking the other day about all the different cameras I had and what I started off with. I started off with a Praktica Super TL, brilliant little camera. I worked it to death, that camera. The only thing that didn't change over the years though was the sort of logo and advertising. You don't see Praktica Super TL or Praktica even, just baseball caps and t-shirts and things like that. So I got to think, how can I update my Praktica camera strap? So this is what I did. This one in particular, the Super TL, my tutor bought this for me at college. It's a long story, but that was the one that I used in the 1970s. I've always had a likeness for East German cameras, and I've even got some of the electronic versions much later on. But I didn't think a lot of the straps, basically, I think it wants updating. It looks a bit old-fashioned. It lacks a bit of colour, a bit of vibrancy somehow. There's a lot of snobbery attached to cameras. I used to do a lot of street photography and fashion photography in Leicester, and quite often Joe Bloggs would be straining his neck to see what camera you'd got, because if he had the same camera as you, then he must be as good as you. This got to me, and one day I actually got a magazine, and I think it was a Nikon I was using at the time, and where the logo went, I stuck it over there nice and black in the background, and it said Guinness. Try and explain that one down the pub. There's no such thing as the internet, so he'd be struggling. Nobody would believe him. Right, let's have a look back at the strap. I do like the little couplings that they did so that you didn't scratch the body on the Prakticas. That was good. But the strap and the actual plastic mechanism that clipped it on and off did look rather cheap. What I'm going to do is cut this up, and I've got lots of other straps, but quite colourful straps, nice and wide. These small straps are okay if you're just using it in the studio, but if you're walking a long way, you want something that's comfortable on your shoulder as well as hanging around your neck. I've decided what I'm going to do is I've already trimmed the end off this. It had a metal grip down the side here, so I've already trimmed that off. I might actually put it back. What I want to do is probably cut out just that part of the logo and fit it to a strap. I think that's a little bit too red, and I don't know, let's have a look. The other thing is, I like this piece of metal on this side, and as I'm going to put the metal back that goes on here, that would be a good idea. I think that's the best strap that I'll use, and I'll probably put it on the right hand side. I'm trying to be careful cutting this strap up. I want to probably put one on a kit bag or something as well. So let's just always use a sharp knife. It pays in the end. Right, so that's probably where I need to perhaps take that spot off on that side as well. Initially I'm going to put it on with double-sided tape. It may need sewing on later, but at least I'll get the idea of what it's going to look like on the strap. I'm using this double-sided tape. It's really tacky. It does the job. I always find the problem when you've got this on is peeling that corner back so you can get the second part stuck together. So I've stuck it down now, and it's really nice. I'm very pleased with the fact that you've still got that row on the back, and you've still got another row here on the front of the original strap, but I think that's doing well. I've also kept the silver, as I said, on the back, and the double-sided tape actually butts up to that. I might have to sew it down as well, but at this moment in time I think it's going to be okay. It seems to fit there. It does the job. It looks as though it's always been there, so I'm very pleased with that. So I've got Praktica branded, and I've got a nice comfortable strap. I've looked around at some of the kit bags I've got, and they're quite colourful, greens, reds. It doesn't seem to match what I want to do. I thought I could stick this same sort of thing as I've got on my strap, but put that on the side of the bag, and then I realised going over the two straps it looks a bit messy, so probably I'll put it down this top section here. But what I need to do at the same time, because now having cut that, I've got that raw edge, it does stick out like a sore thumb. I want to get this braid to come down this side somehow. Remember what I've always said, when you're using a knife, you'll never cut yourself with a sharp knife. It'll always be the blunt one that slips off when you cut yourself. Be careful. Right, so if I cut the braid down on this side now, hold that there. If you can see what I'm trying to do now, let's have a look. So that needs to be there on the return. It looks pretty obvious, that's what I'm trying to do. So I now need to cut 45 degrees into the top and the bottom of this, and also on this, and then get it together. I think what I need to do is probably put some tape on the back of it to hold it. Right, this might or might not work, but what I'm trying to do is to cut an angle on there, hoping that I can butt that up. I've stuck this one down so it just comes to the tip, and this is on top. So what I should do now is just nick that at about 45 degrees. It's going through all right. Yep. Turn the up round. So we'll do the same here. So far so good. That one's gone through. That's gone through. So all that remains is for me to trim that bit through there, and that hopefully is going to butt up. Let's have a go. Fingers crossed. Don't take it too far. Right, I'm using my double-sided tape. There's nobody more surprised than me that this is actually going to work. So if I now put that little bit back in there, put that one in there, bring it across. That's not bad. That's turned out a lot better than I thought it would, really, but there you go, you can see the idea. I think I've got to do the other end yet and then stick that down. I don't know whether I'll leave the spot in. I might trim that again and have it like the other end, but then again I might leave it on because it says spot the Praktica. So there you have it, kit bag and a nice updated camera strap. Get out and take photographs. I once worked for Jessup's, and we saw a lot of people coming through the shop. They would say they would come in one year and buy a Canon or a Nikon, or say it was a Mark II, whatever it was a Mark II. The following year they'd come in and buy the Mark III. And, oh, just one moment before I trade it in, can I take the film out? Well, yes, have you used it a lot? No, that's the only film that's gone through it, thinking that it would be better for a trade-in. How do students learn about photography very quickly? Because they're given a task. If you go out with a mission to take pictures of trains, planes, horses, whatever, you're going out with a reason to use your camera. So get out and take some photographs. It's the best way of learning what your camera does. See you. Whoa! Just a minute. Give us a click if you liked it. And don't forget, I'll see you again. More things on photography.